This morning, while I was in the shower, I was thinking about what I said in my TikTok video, how I was trying so hard to be Ruth like and Christ like. And it dawned on me that I didn't really forget what it was like to be Katie or didn't care what it was like to be Katie, but the messaging that I received in the church was that it was bad. Please recite with me the verse from the Book of Mormon in Mosiah 3:19. About how the natural man is an enemy to God and will be forever until he putteth off the natural man and becometh as a child, becometh as a saint, willing to submit to authority. That is the message that you get as a woman in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And that's what I got over and over and over again across from my bishop's desks and my stake president's desks. That the natural man, the me, was the bad part. Another thing I've been thinking about and can't seem to stop thinking about is the story of Rip Van Winkle. You know, in the original story by Washington Irving, Rip Van Winkle was a real shit. He was a shiftless, lazy guy that didn't want to do any real work. Kind of like Joseph Smith Sr., kind of like his son, Joseph Smith Jr. And it's like I've woken up 20 years later, or in my case, 48 years later, in a nightmare that isn't of my own creating. It's the Smith family nightmare. Everything I thought was real, my identity, everything is rooted in this bullshit from these lazy assholes who would rather look at a rock in a hat than plow their own goddamn fields and take care of their own homes and families. I think I'm also triggered because I ran into a review this morning, thanks to my friend Bex, about a movie called Alice, where a woman who has been enslaved in the 20th century discovers it's 1973 and that, the whole emancipation thing and everything that she missed out on. You go in the comments of the trailer on YouTube and in other places, and people are already saying, well, this never happened. And it's really hard. You look on Wikipedia, you look everywhere, and there's no references given for this true story, right? Well, I looked it up, and there's a historian who researches peons and other things that it was called after the Civil War. Heck yeah, it's a true story. And it happened. The movie's based on these people never being told the real truth and being kept in the dark. Kind of like me as a Mormon, waking up to a whole world that isn't what I was told it was. My dad used to sometimes use a quote to chide me. The saddest words of tongue or pen are just these three. It might have been. And I've been thinking about that too. What might I have been if I'd have known the truth?